Derek, great to see you. The Bradford win obviously was great for you. I know you enjoyed that win. But what have you taken from this start to the season that has only brought positivity, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a great start to the season, and as I spoke about before, we were left with 6 players from last season. We've added to the squad, we've added 14, so that's blended in really well. We've got a lot of youth and experience in the side, and we've seen them, take it on. Mellon last week gets 2 goals. He could have got 3. He probably their centre half could have got sent off because he had spun him late on in the game and got past him. JJ got a goal as well, and it's important that we get goals from all over the side. And last Saturday, it really went well.
Do you feel optimistic then about the future and maybe launching a promotion push? I know it's very early days, but do you feel you've got assembled a good team?
Yeah, well, we've got 20 players at this moment in time. Other teams have got 25, 30 players. So it'll tell how we can get through the early stages in the season. Then can we strengthen again come January? But at this moment in time, we've still got space for 2 more players to come in to the squad. And we've assembled a very good group at this moment in time. And we're sitting where we're sitting. We've had difficult games to start the season with, a lot of teams that are promotion contenders, and we go to Harrogate on Saturday, another team that have spent well over the summer period.
After the Bradford game, you said that pundits looking in don't have a view of the workings of the football club and are naive. Can you expand on that and what you meant?
Yeah, I mean, they don't look at the players that we've taken in. They probably haven't looked at the calibre of players that we've able to take in loan or permanently. They don't know how we coach. They don't know how we work from day to day, and that's just the nature of the business, And because it's Morecambe, if it was a team that had 20 odd thousand supporters and had been in the Championship or the Premier League beforehand, and they might look at us in a different way, and that's just the nature of the business. They put teams up at the top of the table because of the way that they spend money, the way that they have bigger crowds. But as we have shown in the past, when we got promoted out of League Two into League One with the lowest budget in League Two, anything is possible.
Do you like proving people wrong, Derek?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's always been the case. I think that throughout life, I've always had to prove people wrong. Since I was a young player, and then going into management, it doesn't change, and I think everyone's the same. You've got to prove every day how good you are as a team, a person, management staff, and that just becomes with a bit of self-pride, really. And I think that any organisation, would like to see these attributes.
Do you teach your players how to have that self-pride?
Well, I coach them and I speak with them on a daily basis, and if the standards are not up to it, then I let them know that that's not the correct way to go about it. And I think that has to be the case because society has changed over the years. In many years gone by, you used to get a punishment if you didn't do things properly. Nowadays you can't have that, and a punishment was probably running or being in for an extra afternoon session or an evening session, but nowadays that's seen as something different.
What's the punishment now then? A fine?
Well, the fun it's actually repeating what you haven't done correctly, but doing it better the next time.
Yeah.
And so when we do a passing drill or we do a crossing and finishing drill, if it hasn't gone well the first time, I've been around a number of football clubs and coaches that they just pass by and say on to the next one, but no, we do it again until we get it right. And yes, it might embarrass the players, but that is the case is they haven't performed well enough to start with. And when you do exams, you have to get it right, and it's the same on the football field. You have to make that 5-yard, 10-yard, 15-yard pass correctly, because come a Saturday, you're going to have to do it in front of supporters.
Harrogate this weekend, obviously the away form last season only yielded 2 away wins. So that's a focus of improvement, isn't it? That.
Yeah, we need to get back to the form that we had in League Two, and we understand that. It was a different ball game in League One last year. It was extremely difficult, and the year before that as well. So we're trying to improve that and get it back to what it was in our League Two days.
Harrogate's Simon Weaver, 14 years in charge of that football club. That's some going, isn't it? That longest serving manager in the Football League.
It is, and I think that they did well to get promoted, from the National League and lower, all the way through up into League Two, and they've taken, one of our players from last season. I've managed 5 of their players in their squad over 2 different clubs, but. Liam Gibson, we couldn't keep last year because we were outbid by Harrogate, to take him. But that's just the nature of where we are as a football club and where, Harrogate are.
Get money for your old phone. Mazuma Mobile